Okay, let's find the derivative of another cool function here. And our function is square root of 169 over x minus x. As always, we have to rewrite our square root as a power. So in that case, we will have d dx of, okay, this expression, and our square root will be 1/2. Okay, inside inner function is 169 over x minus x, and in the first term we have a fraction. To find the, so we need later we have to find the derivative of inner function, and when we find the derivative of the first term, we can use here quotient rule, right? Because it's a fraction. But to avoid this quotient rule, so we need to rewrite this our first term also, okay, to make it much more easier for us. Use only power rule. So we can do that. So if we want to rewrite this our first term without fraction, so this our denominator must go to the numerator. In that case, the power of the denominator, in this case it is positive 1. When it goes to the numerator, it will be negative power. So we can rewrite our this first term of inner function like 169 times x to the power of minus 1. Okay, so this power 1 became negative power when it goes to the numerator, and we have minus x. And now we will use chain rule here. And chain rule states that you have to first find the derivative of outer function, this quantity and power 1/2, and multiply it to the derivative of inner function, which is the expression inside the parentheses. So let's do that. So outer function, so 1/2 goes in front, so we are using here just a power rule, okay, and subtract 1. In that case we will have, so 1/2 times 169 x to the power of minus 1 minus x to the power of 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2 times derivative of inner function, okay, derivative of this inner function. So here you can see we can use again just the power rules here. So we have here power negative 1. Negative 1 goes in front of the x and subtract 1. In that case we will have negative 1 times 169 will be negative 169 x to the power of minus 1 subtract 1 is minus 2. And minus derivative of x, if you use power rule, it will be just 1. Okay, we found the derivative. Now we need to simplify it a little bit, okay? So here you can see in the first factor of your derivative, this quantity has a negative power, so it must go to the denominator. And inside the parentheses we have another negative power, that x to the minus 1 also goes to the denominator, but it will be inside the parentheses. Okay, in that case we will have, in the numerator it will be 1/2, denominator will be 169 over x, okay, this 169 x to the minus 1, since we have negative power, it goes to the denominator and power will be positive 1, minus x to the power of positive 1/2 times this parenthesis, and it is again negative 169, and denominator will be x squared. Okay, this negative power negative 2 goes to the denominator, okay, x to the power of negative 2, and we have minus 1. Okay, final step, we can multiply these two factors, and here this expression will be multiplied to the numerator of this fraction. In that case we will have 1/2 times this parenthesis minus 169 over x squared minus 1, and in the denominator this 1/2 power 1/2 you can rewrite as square root of 169 over x minus x, and this will be our solution.